Welcome to the Blind Apex Podcast, where amateur club racers tune in to get faster.
Host Con John Turk, and on this episode of the Blind Apex Podcast, we're talking Spec Miata. Yes, it's a first for our podcast. We're actually going to go class specific. Joining me to talk about Spec Miata, a kindred spirit, someone who has a passion for grassroots racing, someone who might be cheaper than Dylan. I don't know. They might have to fight it out pay-per-view because they both need the money, I guess. Jim from No Money Motorsports. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah. I've followed your blog for a while. I blame Dylan. Dylan probably mentioned it a couple of years ago, and I've always clicked around. It's right up my alley. It's grassroots. It's basically having fun. From what I'm reading and what I've read is, having fun, spending your money wisely, trying to get fast, and just having a ball racing. So I enjoy it. So what motivated you? Yeah. What motivated you to start the No Money Motorsports.com blog?
So I've basically, I've always been this cheap, even before the blog started. And I started doing track days by volunteering with NASA Northeast.
Okay.
And I started doing it right after I got out of college. I had, near six figures of student loan debt, and was trying to navigate this world of this hobby I just found that is amazing without having a whole bunch of side income, or without having a whole bunch of income. So I started doing it cheap. I had a Miata, was doing track days without spending money, and all around me, everyone's talking about buying this and buying that and spending money on this. And I just kept doing everything cheap, and it was still I was waiting for it to stop working, and it didn't. It just kept working. And people come in, they say, "Hey, how do you do this? How do you do that?" So I kept on giving the same tips about come volunteer for track days. Do this, get a Miata. Don't buy an expensive car. And I realized I was giving the same tips over and over and over again to different people. So not that I wasn't happy to talk to everyone and didn't want to share it, but I was like, I should probably get this info out in the broader sense, because if you would go, at the time everything was on forums. Facebook groups weren't super big 10 years ago. So you'd read in the forums like, oh, if you want to do a track day, you have to do this, and that. And it was all wrong. It was all like pretentious, like, yeah, I spent so much money, now you should too. So I created my blog kind of to combat that, to be like, no, you could do this cheap. And people would ask me for tips and advice, and I'd send them to the site. I'm like, here it is. It's well thought out. There's pictures, there's info. This is how you do this for cheap, and this is how you do that, and this is how you find these. And it's kind of just grown and grown and grown since.
It really is well thought out. Just to prepare myself a little, I went back and read the Ultimate Spec Miata Handbook for budget racers. And I was like,
I'm going to convert you, man.
He should, no, God, no. But your writing, I was like, he should really write a book, like a table book or something. I don't know. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish my seventh grade English teacher could see it.
Yeah, right.
Thanks.
I was like, my high school English teacher would be really proud of this guy. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, I mean, some of these posts took a couple hours to write. Some of the real bigger, like Keystone ones, oh man, I've been writing a couple posts for years.
Oh wow.
Some will never see the light of day, but you just always kind of tweaking them and working on them till you're my little babies almost.
So I compare blogs to early, not even early, even today, to like magazine or newspapers, right? It's written word. It's sort of it's there forever, right? I mean, until you stop paying your domain name and hosting services, right?
Yeah. And then the ads change.
And, yeah. Yeah. But in podcasting's basically, in my opinion, like AM radio. So
see, I'm the opposite direction, I think. I feel like podcasting is more the future. I feel like the blog is kind of a dying art, but as old as I am, I'm not a giant fan of the. I mean, podcasts I do like, but I feel like everything now is moving to like YouTube and video, and I'm not a huge fan of that, and I'm too nervous to try podcasting myself. So I'm like, I'm gonna stick with the blog because I can do that on the couch quietly next to my wife. Whereas like podcasts, it's a lot more work. It's too much to learn for me. So I'll stick to my old ways.
When you decide a podcast, hit me up. I'll tell you the easy way to do it. I don't.
Yeah.
Outside
nice.
of scheduling time, it's not that drastic.
All right.
You make a couple budget purchases, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah. Good. I'll do a blog post about it too.
You should. I feel you on the whole forums thing. They were back in the day. It was this sticky or that sticky, or if you asked a question, it was like, "Did you search noob?" And then now we're in the Facebook era, and you can't cleanly search, in my opinion. So it's good to have.
It's impressive how bad the searching is. I don't get how it's so bad.
Yeah. Considering their revenue is ad revenue based off your data, but when you type in a keyword, it doesn't come back with anything that's related to your keyword. I don't know how it works, but they don't want to be a search engine, so they stopped supporting it, I guess. So
yeah,
that's why you did it. What are you trying to accomplish overall with No Money Motorsports, the blog?
So it's pretty much just turned into my way of trying to spread this hobby as much as possible. My only regret about track days and racing in general is that I waited so long to do it. Just because I always read that stuff. I always read like, you go to track days, it's only a matter of moments until you crash, and you can get really hurt. And if you don't have, thousands and thousands of dollars in gear, your life is at risk. And it's like, I get it. A lot of those things can happen, but your first day at DE1, you get a decent instructor or any instructor, you're not likely going to crash. So go out and try it. Go out and do your days. You don't need to be a millionaire. I mean, it could be pretty simple.
Oh, absolutely.
From there, it's right. It's kind of cool. It's turned into a little bit of like my platform. I mean, I even do a little bit of advocating, like trying to keep our rules in good spots and like trying to get people to join Spec Miata now to kind of grow the pot. When I started racing in my region, I think we averaged 7 cars a race. And in the last 2 years, averaged 19 or 20. The other year, last year, we averaged 19. We had one race with like 26 cars. That's wild. To go from 7 to we get our own run group at Lime Rock. That's something that's just the amount of, it's so much more fun. It's insane. It's incredible.
Yeah. And
so it's kind of been that double-edged sword.
It is a very popular class. Nobody can deny it. When everybody's like on the forums and on Facebook groups, what's the best, my first best track car to get or whatever, and everybody's like, Miata's the answer. I hate saying that, but it's kind of true. And I even hate admitting it right
almost, there. Here's the thing, though. This will make you happy. Then it's getting tough because Miatas are getting so expensive. When they were $2,500 for a decent car, absolutely. Now I'm saying that to people, but they're coming back to me saying, I can't find one for less than $5,000.
Yep.
I know everything's gone up, but I feel like our cars have gone up kind of way more than everybody else, or maybe not way more than everybody else, but it seems like higher than the average. Where it's tough to compete with the BRZs, the FRSs are getting cheap, and our cars are so much money.
Yeah, but the BRZ FRSs pre-COVID were stupid cheap. They were.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you. Pre-COVID, the 8th gen Civic was $5,000. Now it's $10,000.
I'll tell you what. I bought mine January 2020. I have an 8th gen Civic myself as my daily, and I bought it 2 months before COVID. Now, granted, I got it from a friend, but I still got a smoking deal, and the value of that car now,
yeah,
oh man, it's like it's an investment.
Everything is up, but They call Spec Miata, Spec Piñata, and Crash Miata, and all those other names that they call it for a reason. Because Rubbin's racing in that class. That class always has big fields. I don't know how you guys only had 7. There's 7 Spec Miatas in one paddock spot in my region. Like, they just all cram each other in there, and that's how they like to paddock, you know?
We're like moths on a light bulb.
You really are. You really are. They really love the yellow flag, too. So they're attracted to the yellow flags.
But so I'll tell you what, my region's pretty good, man. We don't have we'll have a bad one here and there, but we don't get a lot of yellows. I mean, I think we had we caused 1 full course caution last year, and that might be it. Selective memory and all, but it wasn't much.
Yeah, I'm sure our guys caused more than that, but it wasn't for major contact. It might have been a slightly early bump draft coming out of hog pen that sent somebody off to the left, and then they added new walls at VIR, and so somebody got into it.
Oh God, I heard.
But in general, this car has been raced. Maybe how long Spec Miata been a class of its own? Do you know how far back it goes?
I knew it, and then I lost it at some point. I want to say, like, I could be wrong here, but like 2008-ish. So we're looking at 15 or so years.
Oh, it had to be earlier than that.
Wildly wrong on that.
I think it's earlier than that. I should know.
It's 2000. I've heard 2002 is one number. That's kind of when it has a little bit of stuff started. It's always been simmering. It's always been there because it's a pretty good formula for a race car, you know.
Yeah. So there can't be many of these cars left. They're probably all caged somewhere because the class is super popular.
Yeah. Well, so here's comparing to Honda Challenge that I know you're super versed with. I mean, you guys have an unlimited supply of cars. I feel like we have, minus you guys, I feel like we have more cars than anybody else. I mean, there's like 600,000 Miatas sold in America between the NA and the NA and NB chassis, which are the Spec Miata legal ones. So there's a lot out there, and the nature of the car being like a weekender, cruisy kind of car is so many sat in garages, used only during summertime, you know, used sparingly as a second and third car, that a lot of them stuck around more than like a commuter Civic that, you know, was used and used up. You know, so now we get to get them and crash them into each other. So,
yeah, we probably have more. Honda Challenge probably has more chassis just from sheer numbers. You know, hatches, sedans, coupes, Integras. You know, yes, but you're right. We had to drive all of our cars. All of our cars were everybody's commuter. So I think Dylan's volunteer car he's building is like a 300,000 mile car or something ridiculous. You know, you don't see a lot of Miatas quite that high, not on the road anyway.
You do now. The last couple of years, you're starting to see them in the 2s and the 220s. Not 300,000, but they're starting to climb.
Yeah, but I bought my 8th gen Civic. It's a 2007. It had 165,000 miles on it, and now I'm racing it. And I just replaced the oil pump.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nice.
You just keep going.
Oh, that's great. Well, mine's got 205 on it now.
Oh, wow.
And I've said, like, if it gets to 300, I'm going to run H2 in it. Like, you'll have the class figured out by then. You'll just give me a little, here's how you make an H2 car. And I'll just go for it.
Yeah. Right. Might as well. So let's cover the class.
But no,
go ahead.
Okay. Well, here, so the thing that we touched on, the Spec Piñata of it all, I always laugh at this because we have this rep. My key defense for Spec Piñata is like, yeah, I mean, if we bring the biggest group in the paddock, if we have like 50% of the race cars, yeah, we're probably going to have about 50% of the crashes. So sometimes it ends up being a lot less, actually, probably because with our cars being spec, we're not that far apart. Like we're always touching doors everywhere. So being that close, really, it is rubbing is racing versus punting is racing. So it kind of does help.
Yeah,
when we do have a big one, we have a big one. It sucks, but
you guys are so close that when you have a big one, it takes out some cars usually. But you guys are always that close. They come back with door donuts. There are no pristine front and rear bumpers on these cars past the first time they roll through the tech shed every year. You know, because
honestly, and you're even correct on that, because even in the paddock, we're like purposely parking into each other.
Yeah, you guys.
It's like how it's like
it's a love tap.
It is. We honestly do it just to see how when we have like a new volunteer running the grid, I'll just roll into other car and they'll be like, "Oh no, 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 no!" And I'm like, "Boom!" You'll see the old volunteers start laughing at the new guy freaking out, and you're like, "It's what we do."
Yeah. So you talked about the NA and the NB being the legal cars, and we might get into something later, but so that's your basis. So they're very simple automobiles. Okay, I say that sort of tongue in cheek. No automobile's that simple, but to build a Spec Miata, you need what?
I mean, yeah, you're right. Not much. You can call up. There's Advanced Autosports actually sells a kit called Spec Miata in a box.
Okay.
And it is literally, it's the suspension package that you need. It's a couple little things like a cutoff switch. That's a general racing thing. I have to look at it again, but it's like all the little tiny race car things. It's really, to race Spec Miata, you need the suspension. Most of the other things are general race car stuff, like a seat, a cage, a back brace, the cutoff switch, now a fire system. So it's not a lot. You're not changing much at all. Stock suspension components everywhere. You have the option now to replace certain items, like the front, they allowed us lower ball joints that are offset to get us more camber. What else is it? I mean, it's sway bars. It's really not a lot of stuff. It's stock engine, stock airbox for most of the cars at least. There's a spec exhaust, but it's optional. You could run anything cat back, but there's a popular couple exhausts you can pick from.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a whole lot.
So why do people pay so much money for these Miatas once they're finished being built?
That's the best question. It's in a class this popular that's raced by so many people. It's like there's always got to be somebody trying to find that last little mod that it's going to get you 1/1000th of a second. But if you do 100 of them, you're going to get 100th of a second, and that's going to be the difference between qualifying in first and fourth. So you've got people apparently blueprinting rear differentials with a Torsen that I don't believe it does anything, but they say it does. I mean, you've got people taking entire subframes of these cars, stripping them down, powder coating them. So much of the cost because if you want a top level built Spec Miata, you could spend $60,000.
Get out of here.
Honestly, you could spend more. It's incredible.
What are you doing to that car?
Most of that it is down to a bare tub. The whole thing is scraped all the way down. It is a full rotisserie build. It is every single bolt and nut is touched on that entire car. So it's closer to, and this sounds stupid, but it's closer to a professional like IMSA level car than a club racing car because everything is touched. Do you have to do any of that? Absolutely not. Does it make the car faster? 99% of it doesn't. 99% of that goes to making it easier to work on, which is nice. A little easier to get in and out of. It makes it prettier. It keeps a lot of people working, I guess.
Wow.
And it does. It's nice because I struggled. I think about this all the time and I try and figure it out because I bought my car for like $4,000.
Okay.
As a built Spec Miata. It was a heap when I bought it. It was built in 2007 as a race car first. It had been around the world. It had a bolt-in cage that they then sleeved and welded in. So it had been around the block, and I did one track day in it, and the cage was so compromised just by the nature of how they put it in the car that I hit my head so hard on the top bar that I blacked out. It seemed like I blacked out for a second over a curb, and I was like, nope. So I got home, cut the cage out, and had my friend totally do a new cage in it. But even then, my car, I'm not into it for all that much money, and I'm not going to compete at the absolute top level of like a NASA Champs event where there's 80 cars, or like a SCCA event with like 80 cars. But regionally, I do great. Like I do just fine. Like third place last year in points. I finally won my first race last year.
Congratulations.
In a cheap car. Thanks. Yeah. So yeah, people spend an engine 7 to 10,000.
Yes.
Or 7 to 9,000. A cage is the same 7,000 or 5 to 7,000. So I mean, it's like these little things add up.
How?
You can use a regular transmission for which part?
Okay. My 8th gen Civic is probably 1.5 times larger in all directions than a Miata, probably twice as tall. My cage was built at Piper Motorsports. It did not cost $7,000. Are they putting chromoly in there?
I might be a little high.
I mean, they could.
No, I might be a little high on that number. By cage, a lot of these, and I haven't looked at it in a while, but what I'm hearing is a lot of these places are, when you get a cage, you're not getting just a cage. They're painting the whole tub. This might be down to a tub.
Oh, okay.
There's little mods here and there to make the dash fit. The problem with our cars is, being as small as they are, to fit a cage in it, you have to do a lot of extra work.
Right. Okay, I can see that.
You have to clearance the hard top a little bit. Yeah, you have to like notch the hard top. You have to just cut stuff out. Little things that take time. It's a lot harder to fit. I mean, if you look at how close mine is tucked up into the A-pillars and everything, like it is, it's not like a just drop it in and go kind of cage.
Yeah. So you touched on this. It's basically a stock Miata that you put a suspension on. Is everyone running Penske's now?
Probably 75% of us.
Okay.
About.
So it's a spec Penske shock. What are the springs on there?
It's, let's see, 700 and 350.
Okay.
And then,
what, are you allowed to change those rates, or is that a factory stock setup that you have to run?
No, that is the joy of Spec Miata. There is no testing springs. There's no changing shocks. There's no gear ratio changes.
Right.
That's it. We have our spring rates. That's what we all have.
Okay. And so, and you said sway bars. So there's a sway bar kit, a Spec Miata sway bar kit, right?
Yep. So technically there's two different ones. So the NA cars have one kit. The NB cars have a slightly larger kit. They generally are higher weight, those cars, because our minimum weights are different for the different years to kind of help with parity. So yeah, there's two different sway bars. My car, which is the late NA version, is the only one where you can actually pick between two sway bars. But yeah, otherwise, I think that's the only option in our suspension.
Okay.
Is my car.
And then you get to pick between, I don't know, I'll date myself because I don't know if Sunbelt's still around, but like a Sunbelt motor, a Rossini motor, some jazzed up stock motor. It's stock. And they built it out of measuring a bunch of parts and blueprinted it, basically.
Yeah, they did a whole lot of these. So there's a couple top engine builders. They all did a whole bunch of work trying to squeeze a whole lot out of this old tractor engine. The great part about our engines is they're so simple, they're so underwrought that they last forever. But yeah, you're spending a whole lot of money to get about 125 horsepower. Now a pro built motor that's going to get you more power is 10 to 15 more than like a healthy junkyard engine, which isn't the end of the world, but it's, 10 to 15 horsepower is a lot if you're trying to win a race. If you mid-pack, I just finished my 6th year of racing, and it was my first year with a pro-built motor, and I went from like fighting for the back of the podium to fighting more towards the front end of the podium, even as the class grew. So it made, 10 to 15 horsepower makes that difference.
I mean, when you're talking 120 horsepower, 10 horsepower, 15 horsepower is almost 10%.
Yeah,
7.5% is kind of a big deal.
Yeah. It's a huge deal.
So then
but it's
the other thing is you talked about the hardtop. Is it only OEM hardtops allowed now, or OEM style? Because there can't be that many left.
Yeah, it's only OEM hardtops. There is a rule that says you can use aftermarket if they're the same size, shape, and weight, which does not exist. That is something I'm kind of hoping, I'm pushing for them to change, to update, to allow aftermarket tops. Now that's going to open a bit of a can of worms for those super, super top teams that are like, we're going to take the 10 pounds off the roof and now put it on the passenger floor, and it's going to make us way faster. So it's definitely going to open that up, and it has to be dealt with in some way, but it's, that's a bit of an issue. But at the same time, so a hardtop is, they went from being $800 a couple of years ago to now, I mean, they're still only like $2,500 or $2,000. Really expensive ones are $25. You could find them for like $15 to $17. So grand scheme, like next to an S2000 hardtop or like a BMW hardtop for a convertible, it's not that much, but they're certainly not the $700-800 they used to be.
Yeah. But they probably made 1 million more Miata hardtops than S2000 hardtops.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Which is, thankfully it's in our favor that there's a lot, and we definitely have the lion's share versus the street car people, I feel like.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a luxury item for a Miata to drive around on the street with a hardtop. One of you guys would probably steal it if they saw them. So
they as they've grown in value, people have like updated their defenses on them now, like the way they're bolted on, because it's a hardtop. It's 4 latches. I could steal one in like 15 seconds, and unfortunately, they do get stolen a lot. So there's all sorts of security latches now. And when I had a street Miata with one, I just had it bolted with like different fasteners in each corner. Right. So it would take me like 2 minutes because I knew exactly what I used. But if someone tried to get it, I thought it'd be easier.
You do what you got to do. I just can't.
Yep.
Yeah. The problem with opening up the hardtop is going to be the shape more than the weight, because folks are going to do the Mugen style slick back tops, and they'll be like, oh look.
Oh yeah, well, like I imagine if they do change the rule, and it makes sense, obviously, like it would be like exact or like a almost exact stock looks, like have like those NASCAR style body templates or something you could put on it to make sure they're the same shape and curvature or whatnot. Because I mean, there's some people that have gone and tested like A to B and like tested the fastbacks and all different shapes, and it makes a huge difference. Like a track like Watkins Glen, we even tested, because technically hardtops for us are optional. We don't need to run a hardtop. But at a track like Watkins Glen, it's like 8 or 9 miles an hour into the bus stop.
Oh, wow.
So having the hardtop is huge. And then I have to look at his tests again. That Ian Korf he did a test where he went to the Glen, was back to back with a fastback. And the fastback, I have to look, but I think it was another like 7 or 8 miles an hour over just our stock hardtop. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
It's not a very aerodynamic car as is.
No, it's not. So there's junkyard motors, junkyard transmissions, there's built motors, there's built transmissions. But to me, why Miata is the answer is the cheap consumables. You guys chew up tires. You guys are pretty light overall. You don't chew up tires. You don't seem too hard on brakes. So you're on factory size brakes. There's nothing to buy, right? Mm-hmm. Aren't you on a spec brake pad?
No, not spec brake pad, but factory brakes. The newer cars, the 01, 05, actually have to downgrade to the smaller brakes.
Oh, okay.
Of my generation. Stock. And even with my brakes, the fronts, I go through 2 sets of pads a season, and that's doing a full entire season with practice days.
In what pad?
And the rears, oh man.
What pad are you running?
A popular setup, I do Hawk DTC 60s up front and 30s in the rear.
Okay.
And the rears, oh man, I had a set go 3 years once. Like they last. And with like Hawkbuck's contingencies, I have to see how much money I spent on brake pads in the last 10 years, but it has not been much.
How many rotors?
$30 to $50 a year. I do rotors. Sometimes I do it every year because they're like $17 a piece. I've gone 2 years before, but then they start to taper a little bit. But they last forever. It's wild.
And what's the weight on this car? On the NA and Bs, what do they need to weigh?
So the NA, the 1.6 cars are 2275.
Mm-hmm.
2400 is the middle cars, and the newest one they just raised it to 2450, I think.
Wow, because I ran my Honda Challenge car with DTC 60s at 2,500 pounds, and it was murdering front rotors. And I was going through pads every other event.
Oh God! Well, how much horsepower is that? Is that 200-ish at the wheel?
190 at the wheel. So I mean, we're hitting pretty big speeds.
A big difference.
But it was just it was.
I mean, you guys on track are so fast.
I guess the speed differential does help, but it must make a huge difference because. In our case, I don't recommend DTC 60s to anyone. They just...
Really?
No.
Yeah, no, they're perfectly adequate for us. I mean, There's guys that run the G-Locks and like them. To me, they're just too much money, and betting them is like a 15-step process.
Oh, yeah. Hard pass.
Yeah. No, maybe it's just, I mean, your speed and depending on how much aero you have, like we have no aero allowed.
Right.
But our corner speeds are generally the same or faster, I want to say. So we don't have to slow down as much for several, like we're not as high going into a corner, and we don't have to even go as low. So they're perfectly adequate for us.
We shouldn't have lower corner speeds. It should be the same or slightly higher than you guys. But
all right, so I have a couple people to call out then.
Yeah.
There's a few local guys I got to call out.
Name names. You don't have to. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not. I love my Honda Challenge crew. Jim. They're all yelling that right now.
So yeah, I mean, the Spec Miata build is so simple, and that's why it's the answer. It's simple. They're easy on equipment. That's really the reason it's the answer. But it's highlighted because you guys have big fields. And the common theme on this podcast is when you have a big field, you have to always have somebody to race, which always makes you have to get faster. Got to chase the guy in front of you. Got to run from the guy behind you, right? If you're in a class that has 2 cars, it's hard. There's no motivation, you know. When you're in a 20-car field, that's a lot of motivation. When you go to, you don't even have to go. You can race Spec Miata in your region and then watch nationals on YouTube or on wherever and hear how much money is on the line for Spec Miata, and that will help motivate you to go to the next one.
Yeah.
Because nationally,
it's
man,
pretty wild what they throw around for those.
Yeah. I was like, are you kidding? And they're like, that's what happens when you have 90 cars.
I don't even want to do that. That's yeah, it's incredible.
You just have to get in the top 10. Because I think it's been like a couple years in a row that the top 7 are all thrown out because they all got disqualified.
It has absolutely. It didn't happen often, but it has happened. It was a plunge gate. It was a huge engine conspiracy at one of the SCCA races.
No, it happened at
We've
COTA
had Axel
for NASA.
debates. That was top 2, I believe that was for axle modifications. Yeah, so the cool thing about, and here's the reason I like a spec class is like, if you're racing in a builder's class and someone's faster than you, you're like, all right, what can I do to my car now? How can I optimize my car to get around that person? For us, it's like, well, I have a good alignment. My car is prepped. So I guess I just have to drive better. Like, that's kind of all that's left. Driving better, and maybe your tires are fresher or less fresh, but there's not that many factors aside from you. So it's hard to point a finger at an issue unless you're pointing at yourself, which is why I kind of like it, because it saves me the excuse of spending money. It's like, if I could try this spring rate, or if I could try these valve springs to help me do a little better, I would kind of feel forced to do that. But with us, it's like, well, I guess I got to do another track day to practice, which is the whole reason I do this. So it works out.
That's my dilemma, but I still blame myself, right? So in Honda Challenge, I have the world's my oyster. I can do almost anything I really want. I mean, not to my 8th gen, but in general, the rules are pretty loose for us. But this last weekend racing, I was just like, my car is terrible. It feels terrible. I'm driving it terrible, but it also feels terrible. It's like it's hard to drive, so it's making me drive worse.
Yeah.
But I made all the decisions. I made all the changes. It's all my fault. Now, you guys don't have to spend money.
It's double deprecating.
Right. But you guys don't have to spend the money to...
My car sucks and my driving sucks.
Yeah, you just go work on the driving. I have to go unscrew up the stuff I messed up and then also work on myself. So it's a little touchy.
See, we walk around the paddock and it's like, man, my car feels like crap. Does your car feel like crap? It does? All right, cool. It's the track this weekend. It's not me.
Yeah.
There's one guy who's the opposite. I'm like, how's your car feeling? It feels terrible. I'm like, shit, he's fast this weekend. The worse this guy's car feel, the better he drives that weekend. He's like kind of my biggest rival here.
Okay.
So
he's trying the reverse psychology on you.
I think so. Or maybe he's just like, maybe he's that clueless. I don't know. Paul, I'm coming for you this year. All right. You're not going to beat me again this year.
Uh-oh. Hopefully he listens. Give me his Instagram name.
So when he doesn't listen to podcasts.
We publish this, I'll call him out on Instagram and be like, he got dropped. So,
yeah. No, I have a whole list of people to call out. I got to beat Rob Casella again.
Okay.
Chris Graham. He helped me a lot this year. Gave me a lot of really good pushes. I'm going to beat him too.
I mean, if he's pushing you, he's going to lose.
We can go all day.
Yeah. You got 20 cars. I mean,
yeah.
Come on. So I wanted to sort of get into the pros and cons. We've done the pros, sort of. It's low cost. It's highly efficient to run, low consumables. I think one of the big bonuses for Miatas is you can sprint race them with a big field and be very successful. But if you get that hair to go endurance racing, they're a great endurance racing car. And I think people underestimate that. And the other thing is always the huge fields that you guys cover, or you guys have. Then those are the really big pros. But what cons do you have for racing Spec Miata?
Oh, man. So, I mean, I am a incredibly biased flag bearer of this class. So I have a hard time even thinking of cons. I mean, here's the cons. When you have a Miata on an open deck trailer on the way to the racetrack, no one cares. I'm not getting smiles and waves from kids. I'm getting nothing. And then my dad has a vintage Dodge Charger, and if I put that on my trailer and I went around the block, I had people waving me down. It's like, oh, man, like, yes, this car is really cool, but my Miata's cool too. So that's a bit of a con. Trying to quit, so I've gotten to a level, and I've heard this similarly from other racers. I've gotten to a level of driving where maybe we're just so used to driving while touching other cars that it's not as much fun as an HPDE car as I feel like a lot of other cars, because we don't have that power. In a race, when there's 30 of us or 20 of us, it doesn't matter how much horsepower. If we had 50 horsepower, if all of us have 50 horsepower, it's great. But on an open track day, it's a little bit. I would like another 50 horsepower. Give me a K swap for that. But so that, as far as other cons for the class, I mean, I honestly don't think it's that much. Stuff I used to be bothered by, like our cost of our engines being pretty high. Like I look around, it's like all racing has that too. Like, so that's I don't have a lot for you. It's not that. Here's my con. Every time you see Dylan, he's gonna go, Jim. That's my con for Spec Miata.
So maybe you can debunk some of the ones I have. I don't think you guys.
Yes, there's a bunch of fake.
Oh, fake news! You want to debunk my fake news on on what's terrible?
There's so many fake ones.
Okay,
I'll do those if you don't get them. I have a few for you.
Okay, awesome.
Go for it.
All right. So, there can't be many of these cars left. So, in Honda Challenge is going through this right now. The golden era Hondas, the 90s to 2000 Hondas, they're all used up. Engines, transmissions, knuckles. Luckily for you, here's another plus. Mazda does a good job supporting Spec Miata. So I don't know if they're still steel stamping fenders and things like that. But there are not many tubs
They are.
left.
It's amazing.
So, and as we alluded to earlier, they're getting more expensive. Everything's getting more expensive, but I don't think you guys are that far away, depending on how Mazda really supports you, to running out of tubs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you have 2 in your garage because you collect them, and now you're trying to breed them, right? You have the black one over here and the white one over there, and you're trying to make new Miatas.
Gray ones.
Right? Gray ones, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. I collect strays. You're not wrong in the slightest. These cars are aging. My biggest concern is that there's not even a successor. Really, there's not like a obvious car to move into after these all dry up.
Yeah.
I don't think we're there right now. I think there are so many of them. I still think there's a lot left in the world. For the same reasons I mentioned before. Like a lot of these cars sat in garages. You'll still drive around town and see like an old lady's garage door is open and there's a Miata in it. So they're around. Yes, they're drying up. Parts are still pretty plentiful. I mean, we don't break much. We don't use much. So it's like, I don't need to have 20 control arms. Granted, I do, but because they're so cheap. But we don't really need to blast through those. Engines are becoming an issue. Thankfully, we don't blow them up much, but they used to be $400. We'd get like the containers from Japan all the time.
Right.
That doesn't seem to happen anymore.
Nope.
So yeah, we're starting to go through junkyards. The engines you see for sale are, 1,200 needs rebuild versus, 500 low miles. So that's a thing. But I think we still got plenty of years left. I hope. I think Mazda's making a ton of parts. Mazda's still making stuff, which is fantastic. They give us killer contingencies. When you race them, you get this little in to buy parts directly from their motorsports department,
right? Which
is cool because some of it's really well priced and helpful stuff. But yeah, we've got issues coming. Not here yet.
Honda Challenge said that not that long ago. And COVID happened.
Yeah.
And now we have our environment's a little different. I don't say nobody. Few people are taking Miatas and turning them into drag cars. Few people hotboy them as much as Civics, on the street. So
yeah,
they used up a lot of parts pretty quickly. Road racers were definitely doing their fair share. But it happened overnight. When the containers stopped coming from Japan during COVID, the price of engines and transmissions went wild.
Yeah.
And It's basically, it was a little rare before COVID. Things were getting a little rare. And then since then, oh man, it's out of control. And I think that's going to be a problem.
So here's my question. Is it coming back?
No.
Is it going to come back now that... No? Yeah.
The claims that were made that the JDM junkyards are all dried up seem to be holding out.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not holding out, the vendors are still holding on to those high prices.
Dude, the high prices are the worst. Like, I'm horrified when I see like an EK selling for 50 grand because it's got like 5,000 miles. Because I grew up as like a muscle car house.
Right.
So I was right at the age where I was like getting my license when prices went bat as crazy. When like, you know, you could get a cool muscle car for a couple grand and all of a sudden it was like $60,000. So my dreams of owning a muscle car in high school went from like, all right, to like, you can get like an 80s muscle car, maybe.
Ugh.
Like it just disappeared because prices went stupid and they haven't come down.
Yeah.
I really don't want our cars. I saw it was on Reddit. Somebody put up like, here's my Civic with like numbers matching engine. And I was just like, oh my God, I haven't seen like numbers matching used since like muscle cars when prices went nuts. So I'm afraid that that's going to hurt all of us really. I haven't seen like $60,000 Miatas or stock street Miatas. So I hope we never do, but we'll see.
Yeah.
That's what we all have to, we all have to deal with.
Hopefully you don't, because there has to be other cars for the street that would take their place, like the BRZ, FRS. The S2000's already out to lunch. It's that thing's so expensive.
Yeah. They never made enough. Yeah.
So the other one I have is, and maybe I'm wrong still, is we talked about the hard tops and sourcing them. That can be a little pricey.
Mm-hmm.
I personally believe that a $7,000 to $10,000 or $9,000 spec engine is an awful expensive way to go racing. Because how long does it take for them to wear out?
So I am a data set of one. When I bought my car, it had been super used up, and the previous owner, about a year before I bought it, ran it without oil or something and blew it up. So the guy that was prepping it for him put a junkyard engine in it. Done. Took it out of a junkyard, apparently put it in the car. He said he like took the head off and looked at it, was good, so he put it back in. I ran that exact engine for 5 years, and I'm not very kind to engines. Now, I changed the oil. I put Rotella in it every like 2 or 3 events. I have overheated that motor a couple times. I have money shifted it literally like every other event for years. Like it has been money shifted dozens of times. I can't believe it still runs. And then I was lucky enough to get on the compliance dyno right before I pulled it for the new motor that I currently have. And after 5 full years of racing, I ran out of oil one time. I don't know how, but I did. Overheated twice, dozen money shifts. It still made 115 horsepower on the compliance dyno.
Okay.
My current engine makes 126 or 125-ish. So you're 10 horsepower down. And I raced with that for 5 years. And I had the time of my life for 5 years. So like, it's not like so the Spec the NC, it's like MX-5X. It's the new class they're pushing.
Right.
That's never going to get off the ground. Those cars you need to buy a spec head to race. Our cars you don't, and that's the big difference. Like, yes, a pro motor is $7,000, but you don't need that to compete, especially with a 25 car field. Like, you're going to have to work harder to get on the podium, but we would have weekends where like we would look at our signups, or we'd look at qualifying, and it's like, of 20 people here, 10 of these people can be on the, like, I'll bet money on 10 of them to be on the podium. Like 15 could theoretically do it, but it's a safe bet that any one of these 10 will get on that podium this weekend. So it's still close, even with a mismatch of like pro motors. This guy's just got a good head. So a head's like 1,500 to $2,000. So, I mean, I think that's any type of racing's like that. I mean, what's a built motor in Honda Challenge? Like, what's a built H2 motor?
We don't build them. Well, most
Or
95%.
We don't build them either. I got you.
No, 95% of us don't run built motors.
Yeah.
We run straight from JDM land. We go to the importer, buy the engine, throw it in the car. It's the most reliable. It does help for H2 that we have horsepower caps. So most of the engines need to be, we tune them and then we get them all as jazzed up as they can be, and then we flatten out the curves. We detune most of the engines because the horsepower caps are low enough. So we're fortunate there.
That's cool.
I think, what did I do with my Integra engine? I put valve springs in it, and I didn't have to remove the head to do it. So, fill it full of air, pull it, throw the new one on, keep going, right?
Yeah.
And that was just in case I money shifted it to sort of help float if it happens. So
yeah, the inevitability of when it happens.
Well, I mean, that engine, I ran it for 2.5 years. Then I sold it to a guy who does chump car, and he put, 60 hours plus on the engine before the car burned down. Nice. The car burned down. And he's like, I love this engine. I can't wait to get my next shell. And I'm like, go for it, man.
Oh, sweet. He pulled it out. Or he will. That's great.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right.
The engine sucks. I hate it, but or you could be like me, and I found such a good deal on a used engine. It was cheaper than I was going to pay for head work on my own and like just a refresh. I was like, all right, done. Like, drop it in. It was much below $7,000.
Okay.
Much less than half of that. So it worked out well.
Everybody's got to look for deals. I don't care what class we're racing. You got to look for deals.
Hell yeah.
I don't care if you have
kind of the nice thing about, like, with 19 million Spec Miata racers out there,
right?
You're going to have those people that run an engine for like 2 or 3 years and kind of move on.
Yeah.
They have no need to, but they just want to because money's no object, or their plans change and they built a new chassis. So it's like, I will take that. Like, to me, that's a new engine. Like, it's just being broken in. So sweet.
Yeah. I know some of the guys in our region, they don't like to run those built the spec motor more than 2 years. So they're probably rinsing them out pretty quickly or sending them out to be like rerun and stuff. So tell us.
Yeah. No, I know by us, I don't think anyone does it. Does that.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes they pretend we have money down here. I don't know. Tell us some of the fake news stuff that you think
all right
comes up.
This one won't die, and I keep on hearing it. Spec Miatas have a 4-quart. We run 4 quarts of oil. I've heard this again and again that we actually run 2 quarts of oil to be less restriction on the windage on the crank to give us another horsepower or 2.
Yeah, that sounds smart.
That's not true either. Like, I heard that when I got in the Spec Miata, or when I was considering it, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. And apparently, like, the rumor is still going, but I mean, I guess there's a chance that someone does that and then they like throw their like motors away all the time, but I don't hear that happening. And like, I've seen engines from the top guys get put up for sale after a couple of years and then run for several more years. So it's not like it just can't be happening.
No, it's
like I think that's just a dirty rumor.
Yeah, you can run it thinner, maybe. It's so that horsepower is minimal, less than a horsepower if you're doing that.
And then there's
and the risk is too high.
Yep.
So that's a ridiculous rumor.
And maybe this will bite me, but like, I just run Rotella. I mean, I run T6 because I'm fancy now. I used to run T5 or T4. There's a lot of people out there, oh, you got to run, Schaefer racing oil or this racing oil. And I don't want to spend, what is it, $80 for an oil change every 2 events. I'm cool dropping my oil every 2 events and spending $25. Like, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah. I'm guilty of spending too much on that, but
yeah, I don't want to. Like diff, trans, I don't do them very often. We're lucky we don't have to do that.
yeah, I don't.
I'm trying to think
This is how I'm cheap. Okay. So my engine in my car is like $2,000. Okay. Much cheaper than your built engine. But I will put $100 worth of 4.5 quarts of oil in it. I'll do it. And I'll still change it every 2 events.
It sounds like you're the smarter one here, actually.
Oh, I used to run Rotella in my non-Vtec engines when they were like $300 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah, well, and you guys have a lot more going on. I mean, you have Vtec and stuff. Like we do have VVT in the last couple of years. I don't have that. I mean, I consider these things like tractor engines. They're like not super efficient. They don't have tiny little oil passages. You know, we do have hydraulic lifters that make a ton of noise, but it's not like a problem if they're loud. So yeah, I just let them go. I'm trying to think what any other rumors are. The other ones are, but that's the primary rumor. I mean, the 2 quarts is the hilarious one that's always persisting.
Yeah. We run overfill. I run overfill on my engine. I run a half a quart high.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I do too.
Because I don't want it to go. I don't want it to starve.
Actually,
you know.
Yeah.
Here's a question.
See, ours don't starve, but we burn enough oil that I don't want to lose it. Like I don't want to forget to check it.
Yeah.
And have my oil light start flashing mid race.
So here's something that I missed probably at the beginning. Do you guys have a baffled oil pan, or is it the car naturally, because the engine's supposed to be where it was originally and it was designed as a roadster? Do they run fine? Do they not starve for oil?
Let's see. I have a multi-part answer. What I've heard, and I'm not confirming this, but I've heard our engine's actually a converted longitudinal engine that they turned the proper way. But no, we don't have issues with oil starvation whatsoever. We don't have to add a baffle. It's good as it is.
Okay.
I have the engine I mentioned earlier that I ran out of oil. I mean, that thing had probably 1.5 quarts of oil left in it as I filled it back up, and it ran for 3 more events before I pulled it out in an already planned pull. And it still runs. It's on the shelf. It's over there in the corner of the garage as my backup if I do something silly with the current engine.
Okay. So let's get out your crystal ball. It's on the shelf behind you. And what do you think the future holds for Spec Miata? You said they're pushing an NC class. My kid brother has one as a street car. I would be miserable getting in and out of that as a race car. Miserable. I thought Miatas were bad. Like the spec cars.
You think the NC is worse?
Man, I don't know.
I guess it depends on his cage.
He doesn't have a cage in it.
Yeah.
I would require a cage to get out. But then how high can you put the door bars? Because their roof line is so crazy.
Scaffolding to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a very specific entry and exit way. I haven't gotten in and out of an NC car. I guess I need to really test it out. But yes, so that class there's a lot of support behind it. It's MX5, it's SMX, Spec Miata X or something to some extent. It's got some good stuff going on about it. I mean, they're newer cars, but they just don't have the volume that we have. I mean, it's 15 years of eligible cars that are all balanced to be pretty even. I don't think that has ever happened before, and I don't think it can ever happen again. I don't want to sound like I'm in love with it, but it's just kind of the stars aligned to make it Spec Miata a good thing.
Well, I mean,
that's
in 2002. How much do you think a Miata cost? You know what I'm saying? What was it at worst?
Yeah,
$8,000
in
for the shiniest one.
You could, yeah, and that was for a 90. Or you could go to a Mazda dealer and buy a brand new one still and go race it.
Yeah, but even in 2002, it wasn't over $20,000, was it? For a Miata?
No, yeah, used ones. I don't think so. I mean,
That
I was a freshman in high school, but
oh, children. The 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 NC is the future of motorsports. Is the problem is going to be this new shift in how much cars are, because the barrier to entry is now doubled everywhere. If you wanted to buy $1,000 car, it's a $2,000 car. If you wanted to buy a $10,000 car, it's probably 20.
Cars hold value better.
Yes, and so that's going to be
I honestly think
that's going to be the biggest thing to overcome.
I think the barrier it's more a barrier of complication on modern cars than even that. I mean, granted, the complication's driving a lot of the price difference too, but new cars are too good. There's too many driver aids. There's too many. That's to me is going to be the killer. Like, my car's behind me. There's like nothing on it. There's like 6 wires that go from the front to the back. I can replace anything in 10 minutes. As cars get better, they get softer in spots. They get harder in spots. I mean, we didn't talk about it, but one of the best things about Spec Miata, and I mean, I'm leaning into Spec Piñata here, but our cars crash so well. Like, our bumpers, front and rear bumpers, like, it's hardy. It's super hardy. Like, these cars can take a hit. As small as they are, they're kind of designed to save your life if you get hit by a pickup truck on the street, and that makes them easier to bang into each other on track, which makes them, if you're doing HPDE and you hit a wall in a Miata, 9 times out of 10, you just limp to the Spec Miata guys. We'll pull out our, spec hammers. We'll get you back on track for the next session. Like, meanwhile, if you crash a modern car, you hit all the crumple zones, you waste half your control arms. It, granted, it's designed to save you, but even more sacrificially at the car. Cars are designed softer now. They're more fragile now, even though they're way more heavy.
Yeah.
I think that's almost going to kill it more than anything else with modern cars.
I know in the 8th gen, disabling VSA, but keeping ABS and then doing all this stuff, it was I don't want to say it was a crapshoot, but it took some time in the manual to go, okay, this touches this, but it doesn't go to the same computer. So while it may use that sensor, it's not needed to operate. And I can't imagine on something even newer than, my 2007. It's got to be really bad. Especially when you have...
Yeah, you have like CAN bus now. And
I have CAN bus, but that was easy. Leave that alone.
You do. Oh, okay.
you don't touch that.
Yeah, easy. Don't touch. Don't touch the HDMI cable.
Right.
Leave it where it is.
Yeah. Unplug other stuff, but don't touch that, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, they come from the factory with adaptive cruise control. You think of all the stuff you have to disable or remove.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a little weird.
The lightning lap results just came out for one of the car magazines, and God, what was it? I think it was the Hyundai that kept calling the police because they were going fast over curbs and it thought they were crashing. So I got to look at it. They wrote in there, like, I know GM cars have like traditionally called OnStar if you hit a curb going too fast,
right?
But these things just straight up called the police, and they said like the sheriff showed up to the track and was like, "You must disable this now, or stop running the car. Stop calling us."
Yeah, hard pass. I wouldn't even use that as a street car. So
I know. Good luck disabling it, though.
I'll just hold on to my old stuff. I don't think I want to go past what I own right now. So
I'm kind of there, man. That's why my daily driver is 220,000 or 205,000 miles.
Yeah, it'll keep running. Just keep putting oil in it. It's fine.
Yep. Zephyr just did my trans for me, so I'm good.
Oh, on the 8th gen?
Yep.
Did you drop the subframe or did you pull it out of the top?
Oh, God, if I knew what I know now, I would have probably pulled it out the top. But I dropped the subframe, but I did everything in the wrong order.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare to come out. And it's it's not a race car. I'm used to working on race cars where everything's been out. It's a street car, so everything was rusted and everything I touched broke. And
Yeah, you still
little
have
hoses.
You still have air
leaking
conditioning
and
and stuff like that. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, and now my motor mounts are shot. It's a lot.
Oh, they were shot before. You just loosen them up one time, and now they're unbound. So
I tried the washer trick. If you are aware of it,
yes,
it helps for like a week.
yeah, it won't.
I can't do burnouts. It sounds like the motor's gonna punch me if I do burnouts, and that's why I own cars.
To do burnouts,
my kids will disown me if I don't fix it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh God. We all love them.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law and nephews, they get in my pickup truck. I have a Tundra, and on occasion, we'll be on an overpass, and because I live in the country, so we'll get on an overpass going over the local highway, and there'll be chants of "burn out, burn out, burn out." And I may or may not have done that before.
Yeah. Well, it's like my kids' daycare. I'm in New Jersey, but I pull out, and the street right in front of the daycare is actually Mexico. And I pull out.
They're right next to each other.
My 2-year-old goes, yeah, right next to each other. My 2-year-old starts yelling, "Go fast, go fast, go fast." So I borrowed, my parents have an RT Challenger.
Okay.
It's like the 360 horsepower. It's a track pack. It's a stick. It's all these things. When they were in that car with me, they didn't care that car did 0 to 60 in whatever seconds, because they didn't feel it and they didn't hear it, because the car is fast, but it's smooth. In the Civic, it's like loud and it's shaky, and the song that is Vtec happens. They love it. They giggle hysterically. So it's not sorry. I know this is supposed to be the Miata podcast, and I'm turning it back into Honda Challenge here, but
everything reverts back. It's fine. It's the center of my universe. So. No, but it's good to hear that you're raising your children properly. You have to start them young.
Absolutely.
Anybody who's made it this far
we went to Watkins Glen with them.
Yeah, bring them to the track.
We went to Watkins Glen, and the chant was, "Do a burnout, burnout, burnout," every time I was in the car with them. So then we left Watkins Glen, and now that's where they picked it up. They love it. Like, there's stripes in front of my house from people visiting. So my kids, hopefully they'll love it. I'm not going to force them into any of this, but I'm definitely trying to raise them right. Trying to introduce them.
Yeah, something responsible, but still fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, do you have any save shots on Spec Miata? Anything else you want to cover?
The what?
Anything else you want to cover about Spec Miata?
No, I mean, just come race Spec Miata. I mean, they're easy to rent. Just rent one. If all right, here, I'll come back. I'll swing back. When your Honda's broken, maybe you can't get an axle in time, or then just rent a Spec Miata for a weekend and come play with us. come have a little fun. We haven't converted many Honda people, but we have a lot of a lot of ST people, get tired of borrowing against their inheritance and their retirement. So then they come and race with us. And then they're like, "I don't even care that it's cheaper. I'm having 20 times more fun, and I'm like spending 20 times less. Like, this is amazing."
If a Spec Miata revved to 9,000 RPMs, you might have me.
Mine revs to 9,000 RPMs. I'll show you how.
Once.
You can't do it often.
Right.
But it will. It will.
My Honda Challenge car goes to 9,000 before I shift every gear. So there's something about it.
I love it.
Something about it.
I didn't know that. I wouldn't have believed you or understood you until I owned a K20 myself.
Yeah.
But I hear you.
If you still have balanced shaft pumps in yours, don't go to 9,000 often.
No, it's bone stock, my car. So
that's good. It's still good.
Bone stock. Yep.
All right. So where can people find you in No Money Motorsports?
So the primary place is going to be my website, nomoneymotorsports.com. Check it out. I've got posts. I mean, you've mentioned it's a lot of Spec Miata stuff. Just like this podcast, I tried to keep it track days in general and racing in general, but it comes back to Spec Miata a lot. But I do have a lot of go on track posts there and pages. You could also find me on Instagram, no_motorsports. What is it? No Money Motorsports blog with a bunch of underscores in it. So there's that. Or just find me at the track. I mean, I do essentially the whole NASA Northeast schedule every year. I desperately want to come down and do some Mid-Atlantic days. I really want to go to Hyperfest. Point. Then I want to go to I want to go to Hyperfest. I want to just do VIR. I want to do Road Atlanta. So my long-term goal is to just buy an RV or even a schoolie and convert it myself and just do like an East Coast tour of like racing and track days, then go out west and do it. But as of now, it's, in the Northeast. I usually run the full schedule.
Awesome.
And that's where to find me.
Yeah. Also,
or any of the Facebook pages, the big track day Facebook pages. You can see me arguing with people that spend too much money. You can find me there.
Yeah. Rumor is he makes a mean pizza, so you're gonna have to find that out.
Yeah.
And he plays with a torch while he does it, so it might be a great spectacle. I definitely saw. Well, I saw a short from NASA Northeast, so it was cool.
Yeah, they put that up today.
Yeah.
Yeah, a $500 pizza oven is not very no money, but a $20 torch from Harbor Freight is.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that'll do it. Thanks a lot for coming on.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's a great talk.
Until next time, keep working on yourself, keep working on the car, and let's get faster.